Full Throttle TV welcomes you to round 3 of the Smokin Sprint Car Cup Series presented by Full Throttle Television here in Dover, Delaware, and Dover Motor Speedway. My name is Brody Hanna. Beside me in the booth tonight is, as always, Tony Solari. And Tony, we've traveled north here to Dover Motor Speedway, a concrete racetrack, the first on the schedule, and we're looking at some high speeds and some high action racing here.
For sure. Yeah, Dover is it's kind of a track where it's a hit or miss on the driver. Some guys really love it out here, some guys really hate it. I know it's a lot of skippiness and very bumpy because of the concrete. But yeah, it should make for a great race today.
Yeah, concrete racetrack with these cars, and you know how tough these cars are to drive at times. And I think you got some time to kind of try out the car on this track. And kind of what did you experience out there?
Yeah, I did. I ran a few laps kind of when server opened up today, and these things like to skip around. It feels like you're on ice skates down the straightaways. The corners actually they feel stable. But yeah, you can't just like every other track they go to, you can't get full throttle. These things you got to be very very touchy on that throttle and steering inputs. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting today. See how these guys handle it.
Exactly. Let's look at their race info tonight. Again, we're doing 60 laps tonight at Dover for the main. Of course, there are two heats, two 8-lap heats to set the grid, as always, and of course, no invert. And so these guys are going to get to try it out after qualifying. Qualifying kind of sets the heats. In the heat race, they're going to get about 8 laps to kind of fill their cars out, see where they are, and hopefully get a good starting spot for the main. Because I feel like, Tony, I don't know how you feel. I feel like that track position is going to be pretty important here.
Absolutely. Well, this is always a self-cleaning track too, and we know by the last couple of races, cautions may or may not fall, or probably will fall. But yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a fun one.
Let's see if we can show the results of qualifying as they continue to run. You'll see them run across the top of your screen here, and then when we get ready to go racing, we'll show you the grid. But right now, Huff Stutler looking like hot stuff out there tonight.
Oh, for sure. He was very quick in practice, and I'll tell you, I couldn't even get into the 22s. It looks like most of these guys are already in 22s. The best I could get was a 23-1. So I don't know what they're doing out there, but holding a steady wheel and steady throttle too with these cars.
Well, coming in tonight, of course, we took last week off, but the week before we were at Darlington, we saw Ty Bostic score his second win in a row in the series, and the only winner of the series so far. So he's going for 3 in a row. Do you think he gets win number 3 tonight? I mean, he looks strong, but who's going to be up there kind of challenging him all night?
Well, David Baldessar, he's kind of showing himself up again today. Sean Huffstutler, again, he's strong in practice. He was doing really well in the last couple of races too. So it could be a toss-up today. You never know.
Yeah, Huff Stutler's look strong. Brinkhamps look strong. A lot of B Singer even he's been up there pretty much in every race too. So a lot of competition here. We're going to see how it works out. But I just think, like I said, I think it's important to get a good starting position for the main and kind of maintain your track position and hopefully hang on to it here. So as we're wrapping up qualifying here, we'll kind of see where these guys end up. And I think Bostic's actually laid down his lap, and he's only 5th fastest. I say only, but he's 5th fastest. So right now it just looks like Hustler may hang on to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's actually a little quicker than from his practice time. Ty's a little slower, but it's going to be a survival race as these all are. I mean, you only have 60 laps to get it done. The heat races are going to be the big deciding factor to see how this race is going to go.
Yeah, so a concrete racetrack up there is a whole different mix into it as well. You were talking about how tough it is. It's tough to handle these cars down the straightaway. In the corners, they seem kind of planted, but on the straightaways, they seem to kind of wander around. And I think, honestly, that's probably going to be your trouble spot.
I almost wonder if it's got something to do with the banking, maybe just the bumpiness of it, but it literally feels like this thing is the front end's moving around, the rear end's moving around. It does not like the straightaway. You get into the corner and you can kind of actually relax, which is kind of an odd for thing to say in an oval series. But yeah, the corners definitely have a little bit more inspiring feel to it.
Well, we got 60 laps in the main and a couple of heats to figure it out. But before we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Racing action from the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series is brought to you by Team 126 Racing, your home for hard-nosed, short-track racing action from the UK. Like and follow them at facebook.com Team 126 Racing. By Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing and experience immersion on a whole new level. Visit thebuttkicker.com to see all of their amazing products today. By Track Racer. Experience refined gaming for yourself, including the new Alpine Racing TRX system. For more information, visit trackracer.com today. By Edwards Setup Shop, proud setup provider of the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Visit facebook.com/Edwards Setup Shop for more information. And by Epsilon Sprint Wraps, the place to get your sprint car and dirt racing paint schemes. Visit facebook.com/Epsilon Sprint Wraps today. All right, we're about ready to get going here at Dover Motor Speedway as we pull up their grid. These guys are starting the grid and get ready to go here. Rolling off pit road. Starting at the front row, Nicholas Francesco and John Bennett. And then you got Tom Land, Joshua Dubé, Chad Biesinger, your top five. And these guys, Tony, are going to be tough to beat. And you got some heavy hitters back there at the back, too. Ty Bostic starting 8th in this heat, and Sean Huffstetler in the back.
Yeah, it looks like they inverted the field for the heat races, or at least based on queue time. I don't know if we've seen that before here, but it's going to be yeah, we're going to have to see some of these fast guys work through the field here, and they only have 8 laps to do it. And you figure about 20 to 23 seconds a lap. This is going to go by quick, like they all do.
It is. It's going to go quick. We're going to try to keep up, but yeah, 8 laps here. These cars fly around this track, but it should be a lot of fun, a lot of action here, a lot of speed here carried with these cars. So a lot of speed in the corners, and just hang on to them in and out of the corners because it's like a roller coaster ride, guys. We're getting ready for a little Sunday night roller coaster racing.
Yeah, a roller coaster it is too. And here we go. We're green.
Green flag's out. DeFrancesco gets a great jump on the field and then kind of backs up. I think he thought he might have jumped to start there. And Josh Dubé is able to hang with him in the 9 on the bottom.
I was looking. We had one guy go low too. It looked like he was just kind of. I guess he doesn't mind starting in the back.
Well, self-preservation at this point too. I don't think you want to cause any wrecks here, tear anything up. You see the 48 kind of dropping back on the high side. Meanwhile, Dubé leads lap 1 here. Look who's in second.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say the same thing. Sean got through the field very quick, started 9th, and he's already up to second with 1 lap.
Dubé gets loose there. It allows Huffstetler through, and he's going to take the lead. Melissa Dyer up to 3rd. Good to see that as well in the 38. Tom Land in 4th, and Chad Biesinger all fighting for 2nd place or 3rd place right there.
Looks like they're actually getting ready to lap a guy, too. I believe that is Ty Bostic. I wonder what happened to him.
Oh.
I don't know who's in the 38 there.
Well, the 38's Melissa Dyer. She's running 2nd. But Ty Bostic is off the track, it looks like, in the 24. So that's interesting. Meanwhile,
he's in the pit right now.
Yeah, Huffstetler continues to stretch it out here in the 94. Melissa Dyer running 2nd. A little bit of a chase there for 2nd place by Joshua Dubé. And then Tom Land, these 3 guys behind him, all fighting for... we see Melissa Dyer hard into the wall. And with no cautions, that's going to be it for her. And that opened up 2nd place to all these guys here. We got some heavy hitters here.
Yeah, it looks like she got her rear tire up against the wall and it spun her.
We got another one. Joshua Dubé, he was running 2nd, and he's on his lid in turn 2.
Yeah, these cars, they are dangerous down the straightaway. It's going to be interesting to see how this carries on. But Sean Huffstetler, he is still holding strong. He's got a 2-second lead.
Yeah, he's out there. He 3 laps to go. He's in his own zip code, and these guys are all going to be fighting for 2nd place. Biesinger up to 2nd in the 23 car. The 45 of Baldassar behind him, and Tom Land in 4th.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching the Chad Biesinger and the David Baldassar race. They looked like they were getting ready to get a little hot and spicy there, but it looks like 4th place Tom Land is starting to close in on the 2 of them.
Already, we're starting to see these. I mean, our wrecks have happened on the straightaway. I mean, that's the tough part. That's what we were talking about. How hard these cars are handled on the straightaway because of the stagger of the tires and just the nature of these cars having all this horsepower and short wheelbase. They're hard to hang on to.
Absolutely. I think too maybe some of that banking has probably got a big
True.
factor over, especially here at Dover.
True, that's true. Well, Sean Hustetler's going to come through 3 and 4 in the 94 car, and he's going to take heat race number 1 here easily over Chad B. Singer, who's going to finish second, David Baltasar third, Tom Land fourth. John Bennett has had some issues in the last lap. He's going to roll around here and claim fifth place. And unfortunately, our pole sitter for the heat, Nicholas Don Francisco, um, he's a lap down, but he's going to finish it in sixth. Eventful first heat, Tony.
Yeah, it was, and quick too. It wasn't even 4 minutes. So here we go. We're getting ready for the second lineup, and we'll be reading off names here in a second.
Yeah, you got Wayne Bridges on the front row with Chris Standridge. So they did invert the field for the heats. You got Billy O. Smith in third. Fourth is going to be Marshall Layton in the 22. Fifth is going to be John Stepanich. And then you got the 17 of Brian Newingham, the 10 of Ed Wash. Then you got the 14 of Michael Murray, and then Mark Brinkamp, the highest qualifier in this heat, starting from the rear.
We'll just see what Mark can do if Mark can pick up the same speed and get through traffic like Sean did.
Yeah, because Sean, what, he end up in second after the first lap?
Yeah, and it went so quick. I'd love to go back and look at see exactly what he did.
He did. He kind of blazed through the field there for sure, and that was impressive. Again, showing the speed there. So that's going to put him in good shape for the next for the main event anyway. I tell you, one guy is not going to be in good shape. It's going to be fun to watch though. Is Ty Bostic, starting from the rear. He finished last in his heat there, and is going to be charging through the field. So you're going to have the front and the rear.
Yeah, well, he's going for his third, so yeah, that's going to be a definitely an interesting driver to watch out here. And I don't know, he maybe is a strategy that he wanted to start in the back and just kind of tiptoe his way to the front, stay out of wrecks, and yeah, it might work for him.
Green
All
flag,
right,
green
we'll wait for the
flag.
green. Green's out. We're underway for heat race number 2, another 8-lap heat here to set.
Christopher got a good launch too off that restart or start.
Absolutely, he did on the outside there. Wayne Bridges following him in the 92. Marshall Layton looked a little squirrely there on the start, but able to get up to position 3.
It looked like he was looking low. He was just getting ready to make a pass there. It looks like he let up a little bit. Like I said, straightaways are dangerous. The car gets real sketchy. You could get up into that wall, and you touch a tire to that wall, and you're done.
This guy's going to head off to and down the backstretch for their second lap. You see the 76 kind of scrub, or 78 scrubbed the wall there. That's Brinkamp. Started on started in the back, trying to make his way through the field.
And Marshall Layton cleared Wayne Bridges and is taking second spot. Wayne looks like he's suffering a little bit. He's got 3 cars on his tail.
I think Wayne actually touched the wall a little bit there off 4 as well. So Brinkamp right on him, and there goes Wayne down to the inside. No, that's not Wayne. Who is that?
Yeah, that
Wayne.
was Wayne. He dropped back. I believe he's down to, well, it's not showing me on the scoring loop right now.
He's back to 7th, I think, back there with Billy O. Smith and Michael Murray. Meanwhile, the front 3 are kind of close. Ooh, see Marshall Layton get close to the wall again. And contacts.
Yep, saw that.
Brinkamp, and that's going to take Brinkamp back to second place, and Layton's dropping back.
Yeah, he was able to save it though. Kudos to him. That's it's hard to. Oh, and he's getting into another car.
They were able to keep it up. Meanwhile, we got a battle for second, and they just wrecked off turn 2. That's Brinkamp
Yeah.
and Ed Walk. Oh man.
Yeah, Ed Walk just got back on his wheels. Let's see what he does. He's back in the pit.
Well, Brinkamp's going to have to fight his way through the field just like Ty Bostic. So, meanwhile, Chris Standridge, he likes seeing all this in his mirror.
Yeah, he's got a good 1 second lead over John Stepanich. And, yeah, he's just keep it steady, keep it clean, and you got this.
Yep. Again, with the heats, SDK not playing with us nicely, so unfortunately we don't have any telemetry. But continue to cycle here. Standridge up front, Stepanek in second, Wayne Bridges to third.
And everybody's pretty spaced out. Marshall Layton's in fourth right now. He actually had a pretty good recovery, and some of the carnage I think kind of helped him.
White flag, 1 lap to go here in the heats. Standridge has got a nice little gap, so he doesn't really have to push it. Stepanek's trying to run him down, but it's going to be too little, too late. But a good starting position for him. Through 3 and 4. Oh, we got a car flipping in front of those guys, but Standridge is going to take the win here. Stepanek second, Wayne Bridges your top three.
Well, it's that race seemed a little longer, but I know it's probably about the same time.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of action there, and I'm thinking these guys are just pushing really hard. Um, Being that this is just heat racing, you got a short race. These guys know this next race is 60 laps, so you're gonna have to preserve the car. They do have a fast repair, but you got to preserve the car, take care of it, and be around at the end.
Well, yeah, and you had the fast guy starting in the back. They wanted to try and get up there, and stuff happens. It's the straightaways. It's real easy to push. Now, I was in the practice session. There wasn't much drafting going on, so who knows what kind of a factor that's going to play.
We'll see if we can reload our data so we can get a grid for you guys.
All right, I think we got Sean Huffstutler and Christopher Standard starting 1 and 2. Then we got Chad Biesinger 3, John Stepanek 4, David Baldessar 5, Wayne Bridges 6th, Tom Land is 7th, Marshall Layton is 8th, John Bennett is 9th, Bryant Newtonham is 10th, Nicholas Don Francisco is 11th, Billy O. Smith is 12th. Melissa Dyer is 13th. Mark Brenkamp is 14th. Josh Dubé is 15th. Ed Wash is 16th. Ty Bostic is 17th. And Michael McMurray will finish off with the 18th car in the field.
All right, there it is, and we are back. We're in good shape here. Standards pulls way high here. Apparently going to the rear.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what that was about, but it looks like there was some EOLs given out. I don't know if it was penalty based or just, hey, can I get an EOL based?
Well, I know last week or the week before last when we were on the broadcast, some of the guys are saying that some of them are actually laying back in the back, taking care of their stuff and surviving. And I just wonder if that's maybe a strategy call by him, asking for an EOL, go to the back, take care of your tires and stuff, and kind of be around there at the end because there are no tire changes in this series.
Right, and we heard from last week too. Some of the drivers were saying, yeah, there was some decent tire fall off. We did notice some lap time fall off. So yeah, there definitely is some tire wear involved, and these cars are skipping all over the place. I'd hate to try this thing with 60 lap tires on it.
All right, well, the pace car's off. We're getting ready for 60 laps of racing here at Dover.
Green flag,
Round
green
3 of the Smokin
flag.
Tires Sprint Car Cup Series, and the green flag's out, and we are underway.
All
Huffstutler and
right, yeah,
Stepanek side by side, and Huffstutler's going to win that into turn 1. They get single file pretty quick here.
yeah. He got a great launch. Sean did, and he is just checking out already. And it looks like we got a good battle for second, third, and fourth right now.
These guys come through 3 and 4th for the first time. You're right, second, third, fourth pretty quick. Huffstutler able to stretch it out a little bit. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all right there. And you got a battle back there for about 7th as well. That's Tom Land and Brian Newingham.
Yeah,
And
I'm actually watching that battle, and there's a 5-car battle right behind him, right behind Bryant.
you get Melissa Dyer, who had that wreck in the first heat. Joshua Dubé, who also faced some struggles there in the first heat. These guys just trying to recover and rebound from some bad luck.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if these guys are gonna. I mean, they are going after it, but you'd almost think this early on they might want to just kind of relax and just stay clean, get through some of this stuff.
Oh, almost 3 wide here on the front.
Yeah,
That's
they're
Brinkamp trying to.
scattering like fireflies.
He's trying to find his way through after falling back there. That's Todd Bostic in the 24 right in front of him as well.
It looked like we had, I believe it was the number 5 or the number 9, maybe. He looked like he got up into the wall.
Meanwhile, not much has changed at front. I think these guys are kind of content to ride here. Second place, John Stepanek to Sean Huffstetler still at front. Chad Biesinger, you got David Baltasar and Marshall Layton, your top 5.
Caution, caution.
Yeah, and the top 4 look like they're
Oh,
kind of in their own field.
it's not good news for
Did you
our
happen to get a look at your
two-time
temps when you're on track
winner.
right after that caution fell?
I saw his name come up. He's involved in some sort of accident here. He's on pit road smoking. That's not a good sign. See if we can get back and look at it.
Yeah, it looked like he made a contact with, was it the 17?
Ooh, man, big hit, big wreck, and good gosh, cars go flying.
Yeah, they just, yeah, when they touch, they just fly. It's kind of crazy to see.
Riding on board with the 91 here, Tom Land. He sees these guys fighting for it up front, gets close. Just a touch of the wheel there, and there they go flying, and he just gets collected in that as well. He actually had nothing to do with the actual accident. Just got took out with it and kind of stuck on his roof.
Well, they do have a fast repair that could come in. It sucks that some of these guys are going to have to get towed when you're on your lid. But, yeah, they could come out, maybe get a lucky dog. We know there's going to be some cautions here. We have the lucky dog in effect. So there's still hope if you don't go too many laps down.
Jeez, riding with Brian Newingham, and that's tough. So these guys are on pit road, but yeah, it's like Huffstetler and all those guys are gonna stay out at this point. I know that there were some questions about fuel as well. I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot of throttle time here at this track, so I'm not sure if fuel is going to come into play here. But these guys are saying that they're really close on fuel at some of these races.
Yeah, and this being a mile-long track, you're really still not going full throttle down the straightaway. They're probably going to be fine on fuel, I'd imagine. But if nothing else, they might need a splash.
Well, one thing to remember, these guys are going to start single file, so at least there's that. There's, it's kind of chaos at the beginning with a double file restart with these cars moving around. Single file restarts are a little more calm, a little more orderly, and I think will help these guys kind of settle in.
And I'm back to watching the leader here, Sean Huffstetler. Let's see what kind of launch he gets again. He's got a fast car. He's been real clean and smooth all night in practice. Let's see what he can do again. It's definitely not looking good for our two-time winner, Ty. He's already going a couple laps down, and let's see if he gets back out here.
Yeah, he's still on pit road, unfortunately. Michael Murray a lap down. Tom Land still sitting on pit road there as well. Tough night for those guys. Go from the penthouse to the outhouse, as they say.
That's for sure. And you never know when you hit that tow button. You don't know if it's going to be a 30-second tow or a 3-minute tow. Yeah, I don't know if we. Looks like lights are still on the pace car.
Are they on?
Yep.
That's what I was about to check. I can't tell from this, but yeah. So we'll have one more lap of caution here. Nope.
Oh, he's going off now.
Pace car's off. We're going green.
Green flag.
2, 3, and 4. Waiting for the green flag. Waiting, and there it is. Green flag's out. We're back underway with Huffstetler leading. Stepanek, Biesinger, Baltasar, and Layton.
Now, Stepanek got a decent run to keep up with him there, and yeah, he's kind of holding on strong. Let's see if he can make any noise and trying to catch Sean.
Got us strung out for third, but we got a battle for fifth.
Yeah, I'm watching that fifth place, sixth place, fourth place dealie right now.
Brinkamp up to fifth place. Baltasar in front of him. Layton drops back to sixth.
And Baldazar's got some pressure right now by Brenkamp, and let's see if Brenkamp can make a pass on him. It looks like he likes the high line, and David's staying low.
Yeah, a couple different lines you could run here. A lot of people are kind of dominating the corners, kind of pushing up in the middle and getting the run off. But with these cars, they're not quite as high horsepower as some of the like stock cars and stuff that run here. So it's a little bit different. You can kind of hug the bottom, you can get away with it.
And you barely can even hear the engine while you're in them too. I noticed that when I was running around here. But yeah, I don't know, high horsepower, you barely can touch that throttle and you're spinning. So they got to have something under the hood.
Yeah.
Because they are a little bit difficult.
Well, they do. The power to weight ratio makes these cars a lot of a big handful, honestly. And we got a battle for what is it, second place now?
Yeah, and Baldasar looks like I'm watching him. He's taking third place right now. And we had John Stepanek. We had a pretty good restart to stay behind Sean, but he has fallen back to fourth.
Yeah.
But Baldasar looks like he is on a mission, and he's got some speed right now.
He does. He's right on the back bumper of B Singer here through 3 and 4, down the front stretch, and scramble behind him for fourth place.
Yeah, everything. People are moving around back there, but it looks like Stepanek he's just losing spots left and right. I don't know if he's maybe just laying back, and but he's down to fifth now.
Unfortunately, we got Melissa Dyer on pit road as well for apparently some damage, some issues she's having, so she's on pit road.
Yeah, let me go see if I can actually see what happened.
See if we can find it as well here. Through 3 and 4, let's see what she does.
She just got a little sideways right by the start-finish line. She went end over end, and it looked like there was too much damage. But yeah, I don't know if she's parking it for the evening.
She kind of bicycled a little bit there. She's got to get that checked out. But meanwhile, battle's still hot and heavy for fourth place.
Yeah, and I'm watching Baldasar. He has not made a move on second. He's still with him, and it looks like he's slowly inching on him. But neither one, unfortunately, have anything for Sean at this point. Sean's got a nice 2-second lead on second right now.
Sean's been quick everywhere we went. He was fast at Bristol, and that's another concrete track as well. So so no surprise there that he's tough. He just ran into some issues with track position, I think. Honestly, at Bristol, I mean, that was his big issue. He lost track position, was never able to make it up and get back through the pack. But right here, he's showing he's had the speed the whole time. He just hasn't had the luck.
Well, he's got speed and he's got clean air, but I'll tell you, I'm watching him too. He is wiggling and waggling, and yeah, he's driving that sucker.
Well, we saw at Darlington. We saw at Darlington last week how much handling came into play later on in the run. These guys should know that by now, and so it's going to get worse and worse as it goes. The fuel burn off, the tire wear in itself, and it just kind of complicates things and makes it really hard to drive.
Yeah, and we're not even at 1/3 of the way through this thing, so yeah, there's still a little bit of racing to go. But I like what I'm seeing right now. It looks like everybody's running decent. We haven't had a caution in a while, so knock on wood here. I got to find some.
They just lapped the 75 machine, Billy O. Smith. Oh, splitting him there. That was tough. And I'll have to look and see what the delta is, because it's like our two second, third place are kind of reeling in Sean at this point.
I am looking at him right now, and I can tell you they are not. Sean has still got a pretty good lead on him. He's very, very little bit. Not even a tenth, probably a quarter of a tenth. But yeah, he's moving. He's still got them beat right now.
Well, we just had our second caution here. Marshall Layton flipping in turn 2. Apparently, some issues there.
I haven't seen it yet, but I almost want to say he probably either tapped the wall a little bit or got down too low.
No, it was a car in front of him having issues. I wonder what car was that? Let's look at that again.
35 maybe?
Look at that again.
Is that 38? No, not 38.
75. Billy O. Smith, a lap down, a lap car. He was having some issues through 1 and 2, kind of got loose and tried to check up and save it, and Layton got into him and ends up on his lid. And then
Yeah, and
something
he was
else.
riding the apron and the track, and that's not always a good thought to be.
Something else happened. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Billy. All right, so there's Marshall Layton, and I think Billy O. Smith. I was wrong.
Yeah, from what I saw, Billy O. Smith, he was low on the track, got a little bogged up being down on the apron, went up on the track, hit the wall, came back down on the track. It looked like he collected that watch during that too.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, but I don't think that was the initial wreck. I think I gave somebody the wrong. Go back and look at this again and see what car this is here in front
Yeah, because
of
definitely somebody was flipping.
Marshall Layton. It's Brinkamp. It was Brinkamp having an issue in front of Layton, and he saves it. But unfortunately, Layton wasn't able to check up enough and gets in the back of him and goes for a wild ride. Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of sad for Marshall too, because he was a lap down, and yeah, it's just not going to help him
Well,
anymore.
no, Marshall wasn't a lap down at the time. He was battling for position. Um, both those guys were just unfortunate racing deal there. Well, looks like we missed some pit stops.
So much carnage going on; it's hard to keep track. But it looks like we got Nicholas Don Francisco. He is in the lead right now, so he must have stayed out.
Yeah, Hufstetler pitted. Um,
Yeah, kinda at the end of the lead lap too. So I wonder if he had a pretty long pit stop.
let's see, we
They
got
might.
these guys coming down pit road right here. So yeah, it's the majority of. Let's see who stayed out.
There must be a little bit of fuel going on here, because that's really the only reason to pit unless you have damage.
So Francesco stayed out, and I think he's the only one. Everybody else pitted. Yeah, everybody else was on pit road.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back. I want to see what happened to Sean there, because Chad and David Ballestar are re-racking second and third. So, and that's kind of where
Yeah,
they were when they came in.
exactly. That's the thing. That's I looked at Hufstetler, saw him back in 10th place, and I was wondering why in the world he started in 10th. Apparently, he may have been speeding on pit road.
Well, that would be unfortunate.
Well, unfortunate for him, but we get to see again if he can work his way through traffic and rebound and get. This is kind of what happened to him at Bristol. He's going to have to get through traffic cleanly, but pretty quickly because we're on lap 25, so he's only got 35 laps to do it.
Well, he did it on lap 2 in the heat race. I mean, granted, there's maybe twice as many cars out there now, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he can get away with there.
It is, and you got all the tough competition out here too up the front. Cream kind of rises to the top, so now all these guys that are fast through their heats are kind of working their way to the front. Now we saw Nicholas Francesco start towards the front of his heat, but kind of have some issues. We'll have to see if he can hang on here. He's on I guess, a fuel disadvantage, but that may not be too much of a disadvantage. I don't know how the fuel weight works, but we'll see how it works out here. So Francesco's going to lead them to the line here. B. Singer second, Baldassar third, Brinkamp and Dubé make up your top 5.
Green, green, green.
It looks like we are going green, and
And,
Nicholas gets a great jump.
well, he did. Oh, and then he wiggles. That's
Yeah.
going to cost him some time. Through 2, everybody makes it cleanly so far. Got a battle for second. Well, you had a battle for second. Looks like Baldassar is dropping back a bit.
Yeah, and it looks like Brent Camp is actually he's going to second, looking at first right now. We had Ty in there too. He was a lap down car. That was the 24 we had seen earlier.
Okay,
So we got to
he's
move
still
on the high
track.
on the outside.
Yep. Here he goes. Brinkamp to the outside, and the 78, the 48 of Don Francesco on the inside.
And Breadcamp was flirting high with that outside wall, but he made the pass really, really nice and sweet. Let's see if he can pull out. And I am looking back in the field too, looking for Sean. He is already up to eighth place right now. So he made a little move.
B-Singer looking to the inside for second. Nothing there. Closes the door.
And Breadcamp is he's just kind of checking out at this point. Not as much as Sean was, but he's moving along.
Caution.
Big wreck. Dubé.
Tell you about your car,
I
bud.
think Bennett involved. Stepanek may have been involved. Right in front of Huffstutler. I was just going back to look at him, and contact on the backstretch by Dubé and Stepanek. That was a big one too. Let's go back and look at it here. Just coming down the backstretch.
Able to go through it.
I mean, again, we see the backstretch being. The 9 gets. Oh, he gets a little loose off the corner and gets next to Stepanek. Stepanek reacts, and then he gets loose and comes up the track and cleans Dubé out. So, that's some tough, tight racing there.
Well, and these cars are very twitchy as it is. So exit, you know, if you're a little high, you give that wheel a little bit of a jerk, you're going to go loose, you know, or just a little bit too much throttle. Your natural instinct is always, you know, keep on the throttle and keep going, but yeah, it's going to bite you in this car.
Some of these flips are amazing in these cars. We just ride along with Dubé there and just went for a wild ride. Luckily, able to land on his wheels. He'll come and get his fast repair and rejoin the race. But looks like Stepanek may be done.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sean. Sean actually worked out pretty good. He's up to 5th now. We still got Breadcamp on the lead. Nicholas Don Francisco is 2nd. Chad Biesinger 3rd. And David Baldassar is 4th.
Let's ride with Huffstutler here through the track. I said it was right in front of him. He sees the guys get together. Then the car comes back up the track, and he drives actually under the 9 of Dubé as he's flipping through the air. So Huffstutler dodged the bullet there. Luckily, was able to get through unscathed. Didn't hit a thing.
You couldn't have planned that better if you were a stunt coordinator. I mean, how he was able to get through that.
No. Sometimes you're, what is it? Sometimes you're the fly, sometimes you're the windshield. Well,
That's right, yeah.
This time he was more of the, I don't know, the windshield wiper. He was able to get through.
All right, so what do we got now? We are down to, well, we were actually at halfway, a little past halfway on lap 31. We still have 11 cars on the lead lap, and yeah, still multiple cars laps down, but it doesn't look like anybody's actually fully retired yet.
So where's Ty Bostic? How many laps down is he? He's 2 laps down after that damage early in the race. He's gonna need a lot of. I mean, he may get them at this point, but gonna need a lot of cautions, a lot of help, and maybe some lucky dogs to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things. He's definitely going to need some luck. You don't want to see more cautions because that kind of takes away your racing laps. But that's about the only way he's going to be able to get out of the hole he's in at this point.
Marshall Layton, multiple laps down as well after contact. Tom Land back there, laps down. Melissa Dyer back on track, but she's also a lap down. Then you got Billy O. Smith, Ed Wack, and Michael Murray, I think, off the track, along with John Stepanek.
And I'm watching the pace car now. The lights are on, but something tells me they're going to go off, and he's going to pull in right now.
Well, I'm in 3 and 4, and he did not pull off, so.
All right, looks like they are off now. So got 1 lap to go, and we are going back green, starting on lap 34.
Just to recap, your top 5, Breadcamp, Don Francisco, Biesinger, Baltasar, and Huffstutler. Huffstutler back up to 5th, and, you know, he's got the speed. But these guys, honestly, have kind of hung with him, kind of been the 1 to 2 second range. Well, 2 to 3 second range. They're no pushovers. I mean, it's not going to be easy for him to make these passes.
No, and Brent Camp, he wasn't able to get a huge run onto second place, not like Sean did. So we're gonna see. I have a feeling though Sean's gonna make his way back up to the front. I'm kind of interested to see what the gas situation with Nicholas is. He did not go in this time, so
I was just about to say that. I wonder if he pitted earlier. I wonder if he pitted earlier in the event. Let's see if I can find that information.
yeah, that's very true. And we got pace car going down, and we are getting ready for the restart.
All right, through 3 and 4. These guys looking at the starter stand,
Green flag.
waiting for the green. There's the green, and these guys. Oh, and we got second place into the wall.
Ah,
Francisco.
Caution's out. Caution's
yeah, I
out.
saw that. It looks like he just gassed
Really
it a
doing a
little bit
great
too
job, man.
much and
We'll keep working on
threw
this
him
thing for
around.
you. How you doing inside there? You feeling okay?
You see, he's from Virginia there, a Virginia driver. Traveled up north here, and unfortunately was running second there. But yeah, like you said, just gassed it up a little too much and climbed the wall.
Well, you know who's that's good news for? We got Ty Bostic. It looks like he might be getting a lucky dog. If he didn't get any damage there, he should be getting it again. It's going to put him one lap down now. There's still his time if he can go for the hat trick this week.
Yeah, that's true. Rockingham, North Carolina native. You know, that's a good track down there too, Rockingham. I'd like to see it kind of rejuvenated as well. There's rumors that it may be coming back. I'd like to see it with these cars. How interesting would that be?
That would be kind of crazy, to be honest. I mean, Darlington. What was Darlington 2 weeks ago? And yeah, that was crazy. I do like Rockingham. I am a short track guy myself, and yeah, these things would be fun there.
Well, speaking of the tracks they're going to, we'll look at the schedule right quick while these guys are circulating under caution. We are at Dover this week. Next week we head to Iowa Speedway. That should be fun. We saw an exhibition race there. Pretty good race, and it should be exciting. And then off to Richmond, one of my favorite tracks. I love Richmond. And it should put on a good show for these cars as well. Lucas Oil and South Boston, two of the best short tracks. We get to go to those. Again, Lucas Oil's, well, both those actually I really like, really enjoy. Then we're off to Phoenix. Phoenix should be an interesting one, especially with the dog leg apron the way it is. And I'm not so sure. I don't know what to expect. That should be fun. And then Martinsville, New Hampshire, USA, and New Smyrna. What a great schedule! A lot of great tracks on the schedule.
Yeah, I do appreciate and love the short tracks, and there are a bunch of great short tracks coming up. We got the big long Darlington out of the way, and yeah, everything else is going to be shorty. You know me, I love Martinsville, so I'm looking forward to Martinsville.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, it's a great schedule so far.
yeah. Darlington was interesting. I was wondering how that would go, but still, it put on a good show. I mean, putting these cars on a track like that, you never really know what to expect, but these guys were able to handle it. You saw handling come into effect later on in the race, like I think we're going to see here. And yeah, I mean, it's been exciting. It's been an exciting season so far, and we only are on race 3.
Well, these cars are a handful, and I give these guys a lot of credit for doing what they're doing out here. They are not easy to drive, and you gotta kind of, you really got to know what you're what you're doing with these. It's almost a dirt car without the dirt, and which makes it even trickier. A track like Dover too, it just compounds the rough that we're dealing with and seeing. But yeah, these guys put on a great show, and this is some pretty good racing. I'm watching the 78 now too. He's driving down towards the lower apron. I don't know if that's just something he likes to do. Maybe head games from the other drivers, or maybe it's a, I don't know, saving gas technique, or who knows.
It may just be easier at this point. Uh,
Very true.
it's the shortest way around. Let's get this race over with. I'm leading. I want to go home, take this trophy.
Yeah. Well, if he gets in victory lane, I definitely got to ask him that question. What's the strategy behind that?
He's cooling his tires off. It used to be an old 2K3 trick. You could ride up against the wall, cool your tires off.
Well, it's probably a lot less skippy and bumpy down there too, I'd imagine.
Well, I mean, with no tire changes, it is kind of interesting if it has an effect, if even just riding down on the asphalt versus the concrete, which now that I think about it, would not make sense because the asphalt, the darker surface would hold more heat, so you actually be generating more heat. So I don't know. I don't
While
know.
I'm watching
iRacing
him,
may have it coded differently out too. I don't know.
while I'm watching him doing his zig and zagging too, warming up these tires, and I don't know if I'd be doing that in this car. I'd just be worried I'd be spinning out.
Hey, you gotta
Just
clean them off. You just ride down there in the trash on the apron.
to me, it's a dangerous aspect to think about running this car.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, you don't want to make any sudden moves, and there you are swerving the car. So
Yep. Well, it looks like we got the lights off on the pace car, so they are going to be going green next
yeah,
time I hit the stripe here.
I think we're about to see a Brinkat versus Huffstutler uh, knockdown drag out. Now, B Singer and Baldessar may have something to say about that. We're about to find out though. 22 laps to go at the line. Coming through 3 and 4 for the Smokin Tire Sprint Car Cup Series.
Green
Waiting for
flag.
the green, and there it is. Green flag's out, and Brinkamp gets a great start.
Yeah, he stepped on it and he took off, and let's see who else is behind him now. Chad Biesinger didn't get a great restart, but we got Huffstutler. He is getting ready to pass Baltasar. It looks like he's actually making the pass right now on the outside. Biesinger is in front of him now. Baltasar looked like he had to get out of it. He fell back to fifth.
Yeah, he did. He fell back a good bit there. Huffstutler up to third. Biesinger right in his crosshairs.
And we got Standris, Christopher Standrit just came up. He's in fourth place right now. Looked like he was starting to make a little bit of move, but looks like Baltasar's starting to close in on him now too.
Yeah, Standards is one we haven't mentioned. We haven't talked much about him, but he is. He's sitting in fourth there, kind of making his move towards the front, just kind of riding there, taking care of his stuff, which I think is really important at this point. And you see, here comes Huffstutler trying to get that outside of Biesinger to take over second place, and does.
Yeah, and well, Standers finished second in his heat race, and so he's got some speed in that car. He can keep it clean, and yeah, he might have a third place in his future because it looks like he's starting to gain up on Chad.
Right along with Standards here, looking at second and third there, first place. Brinkhouse just checked out at this point. Ooh, Standards gets high there, has to get out of it. David Baltasar goes by.
Yeah, Brentkamp has got a 2-second lead over second, which is Sean right now. So the tables have turned for Sean, but it took him a little while to get up there. And let's see if he's starting to close down. I'm going to start looking at deltas here. And right now we got Sean. He's a tenth of a second quicker at this point.
Standards is starting to struggle back here. We're right on board with him. He's had to get out of it again on turn 2. Cars keep getting to his inside, and I think it's kind of making him have to kind of.
Well, there's definitely a comfort zone. I mean, the straightaways are very sketchy, but especially in the corner, you kind of want to run them maybe a lane up high. That's about it. I didn't like running too high on the track. I didn't like running too low either. There is a sweet spot there that the car hooks and you can get around those corners nice and easy.
Well, this to me is a tough track, even in any car, to be honest with you, just because of the transitions of the banking into and out of the corners. Just makes this track very, very tough to get a hold of. And on top of that, you got the concrete surface, which has less grip as well. And you're really, like you said, you're kind of skating around this track. You feel like you're on top of the track, not necessarily in the track. You add all that on top of these cars, which is hard to drive to begin with, and this is this is just a challenging race for these guys.
Definitely something I wouldn't consider doing on a Sunday evening, but these guys are out here doing it, and hats off to them. I mean, this is it's definitely some interesting and eye-opening racing, especially with the car and the track combos. And I know we just looked at the schedule. Schedule's gonna make it even more interesting.
Looking at the lap chart here, looks like Biesinger's falling off of Huffstutler a little bit. Let's see what Brinkamp. It looks like Huffstutler's actually gaining on Brinkamp, like you were talking about.
Yeah, he's continually putting about a tenth and a half to 2 tenths on Brentkamp. Chad is basically running almost duplicate times of Huffstutler for the last few laps. So they definitely got second and third sewn up, but it's going to be a matter of time. And then they don't have much time left to do, but they got to catch Brentkamp if they want to get that W.
He got such a big jump on that start, made it tough for Huffstetler. There's Huffstetler.
Yeah, his that initial jump off of the green flag, that definitely helps, especially too when you got the fast guys and just kind of biting at your back door, and you got to get out there and hopefully you can stretch out a lead. Unfortunately, his lead is shrinking because Huffstuffler is still moving along, still laying down slightly quicker lap times.
I think that time it looked like Brentkamp was. Ooh, Huffstetler off to the side there.
Yeah, he got picked off by Chad Beansinger.
Yeah,
And I'm actually looking at Baldassar too. He's actually ran our fastest lap of the race so far at a 22:480, and that's actually the quickest lap we've seen all night.
We'll see if Beesinger has anything to do with Brentkamp here. These guys are kind of battling for second back here. Though it's going to be tough to catch them. We got 10 laps to go, 9 at the line. It's all Brentkamp right now, but that late race caution comes out. We're going to have some fun.
Yeah, well, it looks like Sean gathered himself up and he's taking over second place. He was 1.2 seconds behind first place way back when, and we got a yellow.
I guess it's the broadcaster jinx. I shouldn't have said anything, but there it is. Looks like Joshua Dubé and it was Standridge. Ooh. Let's take a look.
I'm trying to go back and look and see what happened myself here.
Oh. Looks like Standridge. Something happened to Standridge there, and he was off the pace. And come across right in front of Dubé. Let's see what happened to Standridge here. Coming down the straightaway. Oh, Standridge gets loose. This is a terrible camera angle. Let's try that again. Through 3 and 4, Standridge gets.
Looks like he got a little bit of help from the 91 of Tom Land. Looks like he just got a little bit of bump. It kind of took him down to the inside of the front straight.
And right in front, right in the. Is that the one that was in the path of Dubé? Let's ride.
I haven't gotten that far yet. Hang on.
Let's ride on board with Dubé. See what he saw. We'll know right away what happened to him. So you see some racing in front of him. Oh, somebody disappeared there in front. No, so that was a completely different night. We had 2 different accidents happen there. Something happened to Marshall Layton. That's what happened. Right on board Marshall Layton down the straightaway. This is the second wreck. Down the straightaway, somebody disappears in front of him and reappears. But that didn't have anything to do with it. He just got in the wall and then drove it down the track right in front of Dubé.
Yeah, Dubé basically he got launched right off the rear end of Marshall's car.
A lot of going on here. So yeah, Standards gets loose through 3 and 4 and gets hit by, who is that got in the back of him?
91 got in the back of Standridge.
And on board with the 91 here. Gets loose, taps him. Just, once you're sideways with these cars, you're just holding on, and he wasn't able to save it.
Yep. Well, this definitely shakes things up because now we have Ty Bostic is on the lead lap.
He is up to 8th. 8 cars on the lead lap.
I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get anything done, but you never know.
No, but he can maybe salvage some points here. Wasn't looking good for him early on. 2 laps down early on, way back in the back. Now he's up to 8th on the lead lap. At least he's going to be able to maybe get some points out of tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he'll probably end up starting behind whatever lap cars are out there, but hopefully they'll be nice to him and let him get by, and maybe he can make some ground on some of these, top 10.
So you got Brinkamp first. The 94 Huffstutler is going to start second now. So he's worked his way back up there to be in contention. B. Singer third in the 23, and then Baltasar fourth in the 45. John Bennett is your fifth place guy in the 20. We haven't talked about him all night, but here he is in the top five. Looking good. Wayne Bridges in the 92. He's sixth. Seventh is going to be the 17 of Bryant Newingham. And then Ty Bostic getting back on the lead lap. Now, here's the thing. Since he got the wave around, Ty is going to be starting at the tail end of the field. So he's behind all the lap cars as well. So unless he gets another quick caution and we have overtime, I think it's going to be tough for him to make up any more spots at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of looking at that top four though. I mean, we've seen them all night. They've all four have been very strong in their own way, and it's going to be who's ever going to make the least amount of mistakes are going to get this one done.
Steaks, making me hungry.
That's it is what I have for dinner tonight.
I'm jealous. Well, here we go, guys. Brinkhamp's been leading this race for a good portion. If he gets another good restart, he's going to be tough to run down. Huffstutler's been fast all night. B. Singer, this is for all the marbles.
Green flag.
Here we go. Through 3 and 4, waiting for the green flag. The 78 gets another good jump, but almost hits a wall, and we got carnage
Caution
behind
is
him.
out. Hold your position.
Well, there's
Wayne
that caution you were
Bridges.
just
I know,
talking about.
I think when you start putting
Flipping
like
right
an
in front of
age
the
limit
pace
on
car.
racing or something, you know?
Jeez. So we are going to have a green white checkered. And that's another position for Ty Bostic, though, who is now in seventh. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens to Wayne here.
looks like he just got a little bit too much gas. Turned him to the right, hit the wall, and yeah, when you hit the wall in these cars, it's not very fun. They
Green
throw
flag
you.
comes out. He tries to get on the gas, gets it, and just spins it sideways and ends up on top of another car. And it flips all the way to the pits. Hello, pace car.
Yeah, these are definitely an interesting car to run in iRacing. If you've got the service, if you got the car, it's pretty interesting, kind of fun to run.
Also, I just want to throw out there, too, I don't say it much, but I should. If you're enjoying the races tonight and you want to get involved, check out Smokin Tire Sprint Car Cup Series on Facebook. Contact the league owner, Marshall Layton, and get set up and come out here and have some fun with these cars. They are fun. They're just challenging to drive. But if you enjoy a challenge, I would invite you to come check them out because they're fun. And if you're enjoying watching the stream, if you enjoy the races, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us. Follow us on Facebook, Full Throttle TV as well. Just I appreciate uh, any of the follows and likes for the service as well. Kind of helps us kind of get out there. So if you're enjoying it, let us know. If you're not, I don't know why you're still here.
Yeah, well said, and it's true. Yeah, like and subscribe. We're out here every week. Bringing you some live racing, and we've got a few more things in store for everybody.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna have a green white checkered here, Tony. It's gonna get hot and heavy early, and we've seen a lot of these guys start to spin their tires late on these restarts. I mean, the tires are starting to get a little squishy, um, little worn out. So it makes these restarts even harder.
Well, we know too from Dover, running just the cars that we normally run out here, this place chews up tires. And I can't imagine it's much different here. We know they do have heavy duty tire wear from the last race at Darlington. So yeah, it's going to be. I can't wait to talk to some of these drivers and see how some of these tires were really wearing out. Was there a fuel issue? These are all inquiring minds like mine want to know.
Well, if there's a fuel issue, I think we're going to have more issues because they're running even more laps than they were scheduled. We are in overtime now, so they're going to go a little bit farther than they expected still. But I think this should be okay. Everybody came to pit road, what, 20, 15 to 20 laps into the race, so should be all right.
Yeah, the only one I was worried about was Nicholas DeFrancisco early on. He stayed out. We didn't know what his strategy was. He's unfortunately it looked like he parked it. He's about 15 laps down right now. So yeah, that kind of is a moot point at this point.
Yep. So down the back stretch, I think the pace car lights are off, or are they still on? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, they're still flashing for me.
Well, we just learned that that doesn't mean anything, apparently.
That's true. Well, it does help if I advance it or not. I just verified it, and yeah, they're still flashing.
But we do
But
want to.
yeah. Well, no, I'm just waiting here. Let's see. Sean didn't get a great restart last time. He's going to have to do it this time. You had one of the fastest cars out here all night. Let's get it done, man.
Yeah, we're gonna see who's got the best car over 3 laps anyway. I mean, this restart's open to anybody, and anything can happen. These guys wreck up front. You're going to end up with, B Singer sitting there trying to take advantage in third place. Baltasar. I mean, all these guys trying to get their first win of the season. We've only had one winner, so somebody else is going to step up here in the top six. As long as the top six don't wreck and allow Bostic to win again, I mean, that could happen too.
As crazy as it sounded, it absolutely can happen. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We're definitely going to probably have a new winner tonight, and it'd be nice to see if Sean can get it done. It'd be nice to see if Brent Camp could get it done. He's been strong on these restarts, and he's just got to go for another good restart, get a good jump out there, and keep it clean.
Well, all four of
Uh,
these guys up front have kind of started making a name for themselves. Baltasar, B Singer, Huffstadler, and Brinkamp. They have all run well in all the races. Now it's just taking that next step and getting this win.
and this is the opportunity. So let's see. Hopefully, we don't have too many spinners coming off the green here, and they are
Yep.
getting ready to go.
Yep, pace cars off through 3 and 4, waiting for the green flag to come out. The 78 trying to get that
Green.
great restart he had before. Green's out, and we're underway, and he does get a pretty good jump, although Sean Huffstetler's kind of hung with him this time.
Caution's out.
And the
One thing
caution's
for
out again.
sure, everybody on the racetrack will be pissed off at somebody else on the racetrack before this race is over with.
And that may do it. We're going to verify that. That should be it. I think they only have one green-white checkered.
Yeah, I believe you're correct there. It is only one green, white checkered, and yeah, that's all it takes. One yellow to come out. Doesn't matter if you went 10 yards or one lap. That is a done deal.
All that build-up, all that anxiety, all that excitement. And here it is. We're going to ride the last lap under caution. But hey, listen, Brinkamp's not too disappointed about that. He didn't want to have to hold off Huffstutler there for 2 laps, and that's gonna be he did what he needed to do. He got a good restart, gave himself space, and let things play out. And here you are, winner number 2 of the season. Brinkamp's gonna take it home.
Yeah, well, he had a couple of great restarts, and that just helps in a fast car. It was kind of like what you were saying early on. You want to put yourself in that position, and that's exactly what he was able to do, and he stayed there. Sean had a mishap on pit road, and who knows why he was back where he was at, and he wasn't able to seal the deal tonight.
Yeah, he'll look back at that one if that cost him a win, but it doesn't matter now. Brinkamp's going to take home the checkered flag here at Dover. His first win of the season and third race of the season. Got Huffstutler, B Singer, and Baltasar. Oh, yeah, that congratulatory bump doesn't work too well in these cars.
No, they do not. Then I'm going back and looking at the restart here. It looks like we have Melissa Dyer. I believe she just got a little loose and hit the wall and through the car.
Looking at the restart here.
And a similar thing happened to Bryant Newingham too. He didn't get nearly as bad a shape as Melissa did. Melissa kind of looked like she collected a few cars though as she was landing.
Again, getting on the gas, and it just turns right on you. You end up in the wall, and track blocked.
Yeah, well, these restarts are just about as hairy as going down the straight. The back straight already doing 100 miles an hour. especially with the worn out tires, we know how bad Dover is. And again, I'm kind of excited to talk to these guys, see what they have to say about their tire wear, and if there was any fuel that played into this.
Absolutely. Well, again, Brinkamp takes on the win. Let's look at our results here. Brinkamp takes home the. Ooh, we saw that. Takes home the victory. Sean Huffstetler finishes second. He was able to come home and rebound. Chad Biesinger third. Baldessari comes home in fourth place, and then John Bennett again with a strong run tonight in fifth in the 20 car. You got Ty Bostic in the 24. Was able to grab a spot there at the end after all the carnage, so he ends up sixth. Another good points night for him. He was able to rebound there. Seventh place, Brian Newingham. Eighth, Chris Standridge after his issues. Tom Land finishes ninth. Wayne Bridges in 10th in the 92. 11th place is the 38 of Dyer after those issues on this last restart. Marshall Layton comes home fourth in the 22. I'm sorry, 12th in the 22. Joshua Dubé, 13th. Nicholas Don Francesco in 14th. 15th, John Stepanek. 16th is Ed Walk. 17th, Billy O. Smith. And rounding out your field, and 18th is the number 14 of Michael Murray. So we're going to throw it to our sponsors again, and we're going to see if we can talk to some of these guys. We'll be right back. Racing action from the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series is brought to you by Team 126 Racing, your home for hard-nosed, short-track racing action from the UK. Like and follow them at facebook.com/Team126Racing. By Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing and experience immersion on a whole new level. Visit thebuttkicker.com to see all of their amazing products today. By Track Racer, experience refined gaming for yourself, including the new Alpine Racing TRX system. For more information, visit trackracer.com today. By Edwards Setup Shop, proud setup provider of the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Visit facebook.com/Edwards Setup Shop for more information. And by Epsilon Sprint Wraps, the place to get your sprint car and dirt racing paint schemes. Visit facebook.com/Epsilon Sprint Wraps today. All right, we're back and looking forward to talking to some of these guys. And I believe you're standing by with third place Chad Biesinger.
Yes, I am. Hey, Chad, you out there?
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, third place tonight. Tell us about the race.
I can't complain, I guess. I don't I don't think really had nothing for Sean and Mark. Man, they were just fast. Um, one of the last restarts, I spun my tires pretty good and took me a few laps to get going again. And then after that, I think the caution just kind of hurt us.
Yeah, well, there was many cautions, and we saw a lot of guys, spinning tires on restarts. So, what kind of tire wear were you noticing? Well, you know how Dover is, and how it is always eating up tires. Were you experiencing quite a bit, kind of like Darlington from last week or 2 weeks ago?
Actually, not bad at all. I I was surprised, really. Like you said, Dover usually other cars I've driven, tires go away quick, but um, I don't know if it was the way I was driving, but tire wear was good. As set up from Edwards, I really liked it.
Yeah, I was able to run a couple of laps. The front straight felt very sketchy and like you're almost skating through it, and it actually felt a little cleaner in the corners. But how was fuel too? We were wondering if we still have a hard time gauging if the cars are going to have enough fuel or not. I know at Darlington you guys needed some. What was it like tonight?
Uh, yeah, I think with the number of caution laps, we would have been okay. We all stopped anyways, not really knowing how it was gonna go. If it would have went green, I'm pretty sure we would not have had enough for the whole race. Um, but yeah, with that many caution laps, I think we could have made it.
Well, it's always the safer option to go in for gas if you had
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was a great run on third place. I know you were having some fun battles. You were in second and fourth, and Yeah, the top four look very strong. But again, congratulations on your third place. Anybody else you want to shout out there? While you got the mic.
I'm good. I thank Marshall for putting this league together. You guys doing the broadcast, the setups from Edwards. Appreciate it all.
All right, man. Well, very good. Well, it's Chad Biesinger, your third place finisher. Brody, I believe you got number two.
Yeah, Chad with a great solid run there, but coming home one spot better than him is going to be Sean Huffstetler. Sean, you put on a show out there tonight. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, from the
Appreciate it.
seen some issues in pit road there, kind of put you behind, but
Yeah,
you
don't speed on pit road.
you made a show out of it though, and I was able to get back up to second, just one spot short, but still an amazing run out there. Kind of tell us what you were struggling with out there, or if you were struggling. Honestly, you look like one of the better ones out there.
Yeah, at the start of the race, I wasn't struggling. It was just rhythm. Everything was working fine. But when I sped on pit road and got that penalty, and I had to push to get back up there, and I pretty much burned my stuff up. Get back up there, I don't think I had anything for Mark, and even Chad could have probably passed me if it was 5 or 6 more laps. So I was just lucky to get back up there through all the guys.
Well, you've looked strong this season, all season. You looked really strong at Bristol as well. Had some issues there, unable to get through the field, but some speed. You put it together tonight with a solid finish. Where do you going forward? I mean, looking at the schedule, we got a lot of short tracks, of course, on this schedule, and a lot of good ones too. Do you have one highlighted maybe going forward that you think you may even excel even more on?
Not really. I'm looking forward to Iowa. I like Iowa in other cars, so I'm assuming I'll like it in the sprints. I just need to stop making mistakes and possibly win one of these things someday.
Yeah, well, you definitely have the speed. Yeah, that's one thing we talked about too. Like I said, had issues. We remember seeing you at Bristol and having a lot of speed at Bristol, but just unable to get through the pack. Understandably there. I mean, the traffic's kind of tough. Tough to make passes on that little short track. A little more space here, but able to rebound tonight. And and yeah, I think if you get out front, yes, well, there's a couple times you got out front there, and it was like you were just setting sail and we thought it might be over unless a caution comes out. And of course, here comes the cautions. Is that in your mind? Is that a little frustrating when you get out there and get that lead, and then you have the cautions that kind of bring everybody back together?
Oh, definitely. Because restarts with these cars are so difficult. I mean, you saw that all night. You have to be so patient on the throttle. You start spinning your tires and you're done. So, yeah, restarts are tough. So, anytime we have to restart, I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely looks tough out there. And the longer you go in the race, seems like the worse it gets as well. And I don't know if that's anxiety of everybody kind of knowing the end of the race is coming, or if the tires actually give up as much. Did you see much tire give up out there?
Just a little bit. It wasn't too bad. But I think it's just a product of it's so hard to pass. So you got to try to get as many vehicles, get by as many people as you can on the restarts.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, a good job rebounding from a mistake and kind of capitalizing on points tonight. Puts you in good shot, in good, in a good position in the points as well. Looking good and going towards Iowa next week. We'll be watching for you for sure. While I got you, is there anybody you would like to thank or any sponsors, anything you want to give a shout out to?
Hey, big shout out to all the admin of this league. They do a great job. Having a blast. Love this league. Love racing these cars. Good group of guys. So I appreciate it.
And we love bringing it to the masses there as well and watching it, kind of enjoying it ourselves too. So again, a great showing tonight, Sean. Again, congratulations for second place, and we'll look for you next week.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right, there's your second place finisher, Sean Huffstetler, putting on the show out there tonight in the 94, coming from the back after a pit road issue and able to rebound to a second place finish, Tony.
Yeah, he was head of the field. I mean, remember he started dead last in his first heat, ended up winning it, and yeah, pit road speeding penalty that'll do it every time. And unfortunately, we don't actually have the winner to talk to tonight. If he's out there watching this, kudos to you. You got to get out here so we can talk to you and see how your race went.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brinkcamp's not in team and Discord tonight, so we weren't able to talk to him. But again, congratulations to him.
Oh,
Able to,
wait, I just see his name popping up. I think he's coming in.
we may have him. Let's see if we got him here. Mark Brinkap, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we about missed you there, but we got you now. Hey, congratulations on a win tonight. Took that number 78 to the front and was able to hold on through some restarts and capitalize here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, no, these cars are no easy feat to drive, let alone get a win in. I mean, Sean, he was class of the field tonight. I just got lucky with a win tonight with that last yellow. We only get one attempt at a green, white checkered, and it goes yellow after you take the green on that one attempt. That's the race. So better hope and pray in that situation. You're the leader. So I lucked out tonight.
Well, I believe that the viewers may get tired of me saying this too, but talking about how hard these cars are to drive, and it seems like it gets worse the longer you run on these tires. It gets slipperier and slipperier, and I mean, you were able to hang on through those restarts, and a lot of the guys are saying restarts are the most dangerous part of these cars. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, restarts with these cars after you've turned quite a few laps. I mean, depends on how much fuel you have in the car. I mean, rear weight with these cars is the key to that car sticking. Restarts it's tricky because that car. I mean, it just wants to turn to the right, and if you're not prepared to catch it, you're just gonna go to the wall. So, I about did that twice tonight, and it caught me off guard. Luckily, I didn't hit the wall. I mean, I think one of them I grazed the wall, but that was about it. Um, yeah, these cars are not easy to drive. So I mean, you can't just jump in the throttle and on a restart and it'll stick. You got to roll into the throttle and be patient with it.
Well, I know Tony had a question for you, one I couldn't answer. He wanted to ask you something.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna butt in if you weren't gonna let me answer it. But your strategy on cautions, you're running down low in the apron, and I'm just curious, what's that all about? I mean, head games or saving fuel or all of the above?
Saving fuel is what that was all about. I mean, I had my teammate John Stepanek. He was asking me why I was doing that while he was sitting on pit road getting his repairs made. He asked me about that too, and it's like I mentioned earlier, how much weight you have in the back, the better the car's going to handle. So, obviously, lower lines a shorter way around under yellow. I'm going to run right down next to the wall or the grass if I can, just to save weight without giving up positions and going to pit road to get more fuel. So, um, that's what that was. I don't know. It's something I've learned with these cars. So.
Well,
Uh,
it totally makes sense, and I'm just curious to know if you're worried that you just spoiled your secrets to all your other competitors
I
out
was
there.
just about to say that. I think he's giving his secrets out, but I did not think about. I didn't think that far into it, but that makes sense.
No, I'm not worried about it. I mean, if the guys take on to it, they're going to take on to it. I mean,
Next week we're gonna have everybody riding
yeah,
on the apron.
Well, notably, you were the only one doing it tonight, so that's kind of where you stood out in the crowd.
yeah. And I noticed Sean was starting to, ride down on the apron, but he wasn't quite as low as I was. So, I mean, like Sean was class of the field. He had the faster car tonight. Clearly. I mean, that heat race, he got up, he went from the back to the front in a lap and a half, and he was just gone. And then um, in the main event, he, same thing for the first part of that race until we all pitted. He was just out front and walking away with it. Unfortunately, it sounded like he got a speeding penalty there when we all pitted for fuel, so it put him towards the back. And I knew he was going to make his way back up to the front, and I was kind of worried about that. But either way, we came home with the win tonight. So
Well, listen, speed or no speed, you made no mistakes tonight. You put your car in position. You withheld, your position through all these crazy restarts at the end. Was able to hang on to the win. Again, congratulations to that. Awesome job. And while we got you, we want to ask you, do you have any sponsors or friends, anybody watching the stream you'd like to thank?
I got to give a shout out to the Scrubbing Tires podcast guys. I'm not sure if they're watching tonight or not. I honestly, guys, I wasn't too sure if tonight was live broadcasted. So I wasn't really able to get the word out on it. I was live streaming on, on my gaming page on Facebook, and had a few people on there. So everybody out there that tuned into that, I will go mention that you guys were live and have them come rewatch the broadcast and give you guys a like and a follow and all that stuff. So
They can come listen to your secrets that you're giving out. Yeah. So,
that's right.
yeah. Exactly.
But and I have to give a shout out to the Scrubbing Tires podcast. My parents are sitting here in the living room watching. I got to give it a shout out to my teammate John Stepanek. He's always, been there to help me if he gets into trouble like he did tonight. He was kind of helping me, with spacing between me and second place, and where I could improve and what I can improve on. So, yeah, I mean, everybody that tunes into your guys' broadcast, you guys for doing the broadcast, Marshall for putting these leagues on, all the guys that join every week. So, big thanks to everybody, honestly.
Absolutely. It was a good show tonight. Good run by you as well to capitalize, take home the victory. First victory of the season. Looking for many more from the Bring Camp. And again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Iowa.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right, that's Mark Brinkamp, your winner tonight, taking home the win in the number 78 machine. And Tony, again, spilling the secrets a little bit, spilling the beans.
Hey, those restarts paid off for him, and if what he's saying is true, then yeah, I think we're going to see a few people doing it next week.
Absolutely. Well, again, a quick look at the schedule. Next week, we will be in Iowa Speedway. One of my favorite, it's a fun track, but now it's a tough one too. It's kind of got some potholes in it at this point, but
well, we've already seen him run there too in
Yeah.
the preliminary race earlier on. So yeah, it should be another fun one.
absolutely. Well, we'll see how that goes as well. So anyway, Dover's down. What did you think about the race?
It was kind of what I expected, to be honest. We saw the issues down the straightaways. There was a lot of great passing, a lot of great, upfront action. Those top five, they were slicing and dicing, and we had some guys coming through the field. Ty was kind of, we didn't know what was happening with him. He was able to get back on the lead lap, but yeah, all around, I mean, it was another great race by this league.
It was a good one as well, and we'll be back next week, of course. So, we'll see how that goes at Iowa. Looking forward to Iowa. Should be a good show. Should put on a good race, and hope you guys enjoyed tonight. Again, your winner, Mark Brinkamp in the 78 machine. We'll see if he can go 2 for 2. Kind of get on par with Ty Bostic and maybe fight for the championship here. But anyway, for Full Throttle TV, for Smokin Tires Sprint Car Cup Series, my name is Brody Hanna. Tony Solari, thanks for watching tonight, and we'll see you next week from Iowa.